माझी इच्छा अजिबात नव्हती की स्ट्रीमिंग मध्ये आपण पैसे घ्यावे. एव्हरीबडी वॉज थिंकिंग की दिस वुड बी अ नेक्स्ट बिग थिंग. कोणत्याही घटनेकडे बघायचं त्याचा माझा दृष्टिकोन खूप वेगळा असतो. तो खूप पॉझिटिव्हली बघतो. मला असं वाटतं मी रिअलिस्टिकली बघतो, कदाचित निगेटिव्हली बघतो. त्याचं असं असतं की नाही होणारच आहे, उद्या सकाळी होणार आहे.
Anyway, so with this new business model, and so I approached and I went to India and I started to approach all the producers and get their films on the board. So we had a deal with one of the well-known famous Marathi producer. We had his movies on our platform to release on 10th February 2017. So we did a very good amount of marketing. We reached almost 500,000 target audiences with the help of offline and online promotion.
Hi, this is Sohail Khan and all my friends watched Honeymoon on Indian Movie Friends.
नमस्कार, मी महेश मांजरेकर ध्यानीमनी हा चित्रपट घेऊन आलोय तुमच्या देशात. हो खरंय, ध्यानीमनी आता सर्वत्र उपलब्ध आहे. एकाच दिवशी भारतात आणि भारताबाहेर रिलीज होणारा ध्यानीमनी हा पहिला मराठी चित्रपट. ध्यानीमनी आता उपलब्ध आहे डिजिटल थिएटरवर, indianmoviefriend.com या साईटवर. तेव्हा प्लीज ध्यानीमनी पहा तुमच्या कॉम्प्युटर, टॅब किंवा मोबाईलवर आणि पायरसीला द्या नका.
The plan was if only 10,000 people watch, it would generate 100,000 pound of revenue, 50-50 split between us and the producers. Sadly, when the movie released, the numbers were very, very low. We did the same experiment with other movies and other language movies also, but the numbers were surprisingly very low, and the reason was the target audience was so fixed with the watching low quality movies for free because they were not ready to pay these amounts to watch movies. That was the problem, and with this the funding which was coming, it didn't come. The funding which was assured, it didn't come. So there I was, whatever earnings we had, I had lost it. The funding which was supposed to come, it didn't come, and I was out of funds and the previous business was closed. So what to do? You don't have funds. You have to create your jobs to extend the visa, otherwise the option is pack everything and go back to India. And we entered in the market to raise the capital again. During this time, a gentleman called Rob Moss came in our life, who is working with Coventry University London campus and who also began tutoring us, mentoring us on our project.
So I've been in business for 40 years, been working in large, small businesses, but more importantly, I done a lot of work with small and medium-sized businesses, sort of helping them to grow. I worked at the University of East London for some time, where we were looking at the knowledge transfer activities, taking research out of the university to try and commercialize it. We had a big business centre down there, and also working with the students to sort of get them more entrepreneurial, which I think certainly since about 2000 there's been a big move in the UK to do that, to get a lot more young people thinking about entrepreneurship. And it was around summer of 2016, Gareth Lewis, the manager here, he said, well, we're starting up a business centre, an enterprise hub for the students of Coventry University London. Can you come and help us do it? And I thought, that'd be great, because it's something I love to do anyway, particularly with graduates. You're dealing with some really fired up individuals, people who are keen with new ideas. And so I said, yeah, I'll help set it up. Little thinking that I'd still be here 5 years later, but no, it's great. I love it. I love every opportunity that comes along is good, and you can see the benefits of providing people who are usually inexperienced but have got lots of intent, lots of great energy and optimism, and just need a little bit of help in guiding them there on their journey.
So with the help of Rob, we started to approach all the VCs to raise funds, and we approached all British VCs also, but nobody was interested. And the problem was the share structure system within the company. So already as a promoter, me and Swapnil had around 60% of shares. And we began with a different business model. Now we are a different business model and the market opportunity was huge. But when a third party investor was planning to come on the board, their argument was if they invest, they would take subsequent good chunk of the equity from the business. Then promoters at the early stage of the business are with very low amount of or very minimum amount of equity, and they will lose the control of business. So it was again race against time to get investment in the business and to grow it with some changes in the business model. And again we started to approach many VCs. This time we approached more than 100 VCs. No one came on the board. Meetings after meetings.
A lot of people think investment is all about the numbers and what's written in the plan. It's not. It's more about the person. And I knew this guy had that sort of personality, that drive, and the various determination to get there. So what we had to do was keep that up front and then have somebody else to sort of try and pick up the other bits, when they started to be talk about, well, how does this work and what's the contractual aspect of that? Having that was, I think, really where I was helping the most, just to sort of give them that sort of safety net of stuff. But it's hard raising money. It is hard. There's no two ways about it, and kept getting knockbacks. Right? Okay. Well, let's regroup, and that I think is where I really saw the character coming through. That no, I'm going to do this. He kept coming back, and I think that's one of the big markers of a good entrepreneur is that resilience, that sort of tenacity and determination to get knocked back and still keep coming forward.
Rob had helped me so much that he literally was coming with me to me and Swapnil to meet all the investors. Not only that, Rob also lent some money. I'm completely new person. I can disappear anytime. I don't have any presence in the UK and no visa security, but he had lent some money.
Each time there was, okay, this is, the success was sort of around the corner, but it was still just out of touch. And, I think any business person will tell you that who's had a reasonably long career, and there comes a point in time where you need a bit of luck and you need a little bit of help. We've all had it, and I think those of us who really understand it want to help others. So I could see they needed a little bit of financial support, and I thought, okay, so this is not a good idea. I'm not going to get this back, but hey, I'm going to put it in there. It's a big risk, and I think it's not just the money in those situations. I think it's also trying to keep the energy levels up and the sort of confidence up that somebody is there to help. So certainly in my mind, what I was looking to do was to give that sort of emotional support, to try and show that it's tough, but it'll come round. I can't think what else to say on that.
So Rob was very great help in those situations, but the situation was very hard, and the Swapnil also started to lose his interest, and he later on got married.
मग ॲट दॅट टाइम असं झालं की अरे हा बिझनेस कसा पुढे न्यायचा, आणि त्यावेळी मग थोड्या पर्सनल किंवा इमोशनल लेवलवर आमचं थोडा डिस्कनेक्ट झाला. फॉर 3 to 4 months वी आर क्वाईट डिस्कनेक्टेड विथ. तर मी इंडियाला आलो होतो, मग त्यानंतर जवळजवळ आम्ही 3 महिने बोलत नव्हतो एकमेकांशी. पर्सनल रिझन्स त्याला फारशी नव्हती, बिझनेस रिझन होती की पुढे काय करायचं. I can walk away from this business. Pratik can't walk away from this business because this is his dream. I joined it. आणि मी प्रयत्न केला ते स्वप्न बघायचं नाही आपण, पण ते माझं नव्हतं ना. तर त्यामुळे मला 1 fine day असं म्हणतं, अच्छा झालं संपलं बस. प्रयत्न केला खूप, चला उठून जाऊया आपण आता दुसरं काहीतरी करू.
So I was the only one who was carrying everything. In 2017, I love to, she came back to my life. She apologized for everything, and then I was again sucked in love with her, and because I was into her, and then I not forgave, but I forgot about everything what she did in the past, and then I began to have, we were together again. And now with this situation where I was out of funds and everything, with this situation again I started to see severe mood swings in her, and now this time I got to know about her past, and she had very tough upbringing and bitter experiences in her past. So whatever she was the product of her past, which I understood. But still many things were unanswered, and my continuous efforts was to get to know her and why she is the way she is. But again, when things started to go in close to, when I started to go closer to her, then there used to be disconnect. So now this time, after coming closer, and at this point in time she left me again, and this was for good. And again the same thing, there was a ghosting, so no communication, nothing. And so after September 2017, I at that time again I was out of money. There was no hope. So this time I became homeless second time in the UK. That particular time, one of my new friends, Nikita, she was living in the UK and she studied here, and then she started doing job. So she left to India for holidays for 5-6 months. So her place was available in London. So that was the place I got to settle myself down, and then I started to live there. But the pressure was so much, what to do, how to get off the situation, and how to create jobs, and it was an unbearable pressure, and I was just cramped from every aspects of the life. And in that situation your mind doesn't work. So I was just going to the nightclubs, and I just was pleasing myself with alcohol and just sleeping with random girls. In the matter of just those 6 months, I had slept already with more than 50 girls. I don't even remember, more than 50-60 girls. And then Nikita came back, and I didn't have clearly place to stay. So this time now I was living in a McDonald's near Victoria Station. So it was month of January, towards the end of January and the beginning of the February. I was at lowest, no money, no bright future looking at in the future, no support from anyone, family members or anyone. And I was throughout this time, with the funds which I had borrowed to survive, I borrowed it from my friends, from the connections, and so I was in order to pay my staff. So I was in debt with more than £100,000. So in February, I was not looking any better options ahead of me. All the door was closed. Everything was closed. And already I had started to contemplate suicidal thoughts. And then the day arrived. So 12th February 2018 in the evening, I was there at Liverpool station, and I had thought everything that whatever the next train will come, I'll just jump and finish everything. There will be no pain and burden and nothing, because I was not able to to bear everything again. The pain of this lasts since 2012. So train was coming. All these thoughts are running in my mind continuously. And the moment I decided to just jump, a bright light just flashed in front of my eyes, and I kind of saw image of my mother and a message that you are not coward. You have struggled so much. You have worked so hard to come this point, and you are not coward. You cannot go back from this step. You can come out of this. I mean, even if you would not succeed, that's fine, because you have already given your best and things certain were not in your hand. So for us, your presence, your happiness is important and nothing else matters. And even if you are thinking that you are a loser, but you are not, because from some guy who is sitting across the corner in some village, from his point of view, you are a winner. So it's just a matter of perspectives. And everything just happened in a fraction of a second. And I found courage not to jump and just push back. And the train passed away, and I was standing there and looking towards people who were standing there. And yeah, so the only thing matters is the people who are close to you, and then your ability to handle yourself in tough time. That's what makes your character. So I gathered courage and I came back. I came back from that place, and I went to Upton Park, and I managed to get a family to be with, to live, to have a place. And I explained everything to them, and they were kind enough to allow me to stay at that place without any rent. And they were giving me food for like 6-7 months.
प्रतीक भाई जब इधर आए तो बहुत स्ट्रेस में थे, और उनको वो ये पता नहीं चल रहा था कि उनको क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं। मगर फिर हम लोगों ने मैंने उनको अपने भाई की तरह इधर रखा और उनको बताया कि आप देखो, स्ट्रेस मत करो, आप शांति से रहो, जो होना था वो हो गया, अभी आगे अपना धीरे धीरे देखो।
टेंशन में थे और उनको कुछ पता नहीं चलता था क्या करना है क्या कैसे करना है। लेकिन सब हमने समझाया उनको कि भाई थोड़ा शांति रखो, आप सबका वो हो जाएगा और आपका काम भी हो जाएगा। इतना
फिर हमारे बारे में भी
है
बताया कि हमने भी ऐसा किया है स्ट्रगल, तो आप भी टेंशन मत करो, आपको भी आगे जाके अच्छा हो जाएगा।
I decided that I need to take control of everything of my life, and this is not who I am. I can get out of this. And after that moment I became fearless. I informed all the investors that I'm going to create a new company, and that's the only way I can see going ahead, and to grow that new company, and then I can revive the previous company, the old company, Indian Movie Friend also. And in the new company also I'll compensate you some or other way. Everyone said no to that, and even one VC, they threatened to file criminal charges, and that moment also Rob came to the rescue. So I asked them if they have any options, please let me know. Otherwise, I have option to file for bankruptcy and I'll start on my own after going to India. We don't have anything to lose with each other. So no one gave any option to me, and then I went ahead and I created a new company called GoViddo. I created this company by sitting in Upton Park. So for 6-7 months, I never traveled out of Upton Park. I was there only. Whatever best talent I had experienced or I had been connected, associated with until that time, I approached everyone.
Normally, it's a business is straightforward. I want to sell something. Here's my product. You know, how can you help me mitigate my, do my accounts and my taxes, etc. But this was a different idea. An idea that I thought, okay, this is different. I'm not sure about it. I wasn't sure about it. It was a different idea. So you're skeptical. And I think, okay, if I can go on this journey where I learn as well, because you know we as people learn all the time. As I tell my children, and all that, you know, you learn and you teach yourself throughout life. I thought, okay, let me see if I can help him.
I was actually approached by Pratik's accountant, which is also my accountant, Moshin. He called me and he said, "I've got a client that's just come on board. That's got this kind of a new company that he's starting and needs a bit of funding, but he just wants to basically be introduced to some clients. Will you have a chat with him?" And I was a little bit, not reluctant, but very busy, and I said, yes, I will do. A month went past, Moshin calling me, look, Pratik really wants to meet you, can you have a meeting with him? A couple of months, and I think after about 3 months and Moshin calling me a few times, I said, okay, look, let's kind of bring Pratik on board, let me have a meeting with him and see what he said. So I invited Pratik over to my office and we had a meeting. I've invested in some other kind of tech startups and apps and seed enterprise investments. So I was au fait of what was on the table. What really got me was Pratik had done his homework, his background and everything, and got to the stage where he could approach possible investors and clients and say, okay, look, here's my model, here's my kind of vision, and this is what I'm looking to do. And the whole setup of the tax benefits, the tax reliefs, he'd done all that homework. So, that was a kind of a tick in the box there. So I met him. One thing that really it was striking about Pratik, in my opinion, was his passion for the film industry, his passion for the business that he's developing and building, which really struck a chord with me, and his drive and determination. So that was a real kind of strong point, which I thought, I could maybe invest in this. And then secondly, the business opportunity that he presented, I thought it had legs in it. I really thought it was going to be a good sound bet. And obviously with the tax benefits available, which Pratik had already put in place, it was great. So we had the first meeting. I said, look, give me the information, let me do a bit of due diligence, let me have a look at it, let me go away. And then I think we had another 2 or 3 meetings after that. And I think on the third meeting Pratik again, just seeing his kind of passion for his business and what he wanted to achieve, and just listening to kind of, from where he had come from to what he'd got at that time, I thought, this is the person I want to invest in rather than the business, which I did as well. He showed me that, I'm a good business partner to be involved with. And then after that, I made an investment. And we are here now, I think 3 odd years later, 4 years later, and he's doing really well, and I'm glad to be on board.
And they became part of this business as my co-founders, and that's how I created new company. I went in the market and I raised capital to create this company. During this period, because my health deteriorated a lot, so I visited NHS clinic and a hospital, and there I am diagnosed with a clinical depression, which I didn't know at all. They assigned me a therapist to coming out of the depression, and in those 6 months, I had my depression therapy with a therapist, and it was just eye-opening process for me from every point of view. There I got to know why it is happening with me, and why me? I mean, why I was like that, why everything happened with me the way it is, why I lived that kind of life. And the answer was not simple. The answer was not only in those small situations, small matters, and whatever had happened. The answer was much bigger than that. The answer. So, in order to understand me, the therapist had to understand my journey from the beginning. Not only my journey, my parents' journey from the beginning. And then the socio-political, economical situation of India in the world. And he had to take me back to the understanding, real understanding of the truth about the nature, about the world, about Earth, from beginning of the universe. Why the things are like that, the way they are. What is your significance in the world, and who you are, what you want to do. I was a product of a cultural background and a confused mind because of British colonialism history and the negative sentiments which I was raised in towards them, and the feeling of inferiority, and Indian patriarchal society, the male chauvinism, all these things were just closely associated and influenced throughout my beginning, throughout my life. And I was not self-aware that I was part of that system. And because parents had seen poverty and grandparents also had seen poverty, so we were raised in a system which was demanding to prove ourselves to the society in financial way. And so the sense of happiness came from the belonging of the financial instruments, and also a lack of emotional intelligence. They're depending on other people emotionally for our self needs. So I was raised with all this confused mindset, and also anger of inequality in the world. Not only financial inequality, but the inequality to get recognition for any artist or any human being who are not part of Western society, especially United Kingdom and United Nations. The way they get recognition and the remuneration for their talent, and 10 times more talent than them from the other part of the world, gets ignored in the crowd, and everything is linked with the capitalism and the way world runs from, especially from Wall Street and US Senate. So everything links to them. So all these and all these emotions and the feelings were not clear, and I was growing up with all this confusion. So self-awareness was not there, and my purpose of my existence, where I lie in this whole entire ecosystem of the world, it was not clear. So I got clarity in that therapy, and the conclusion was it's about the self-well-being, self-mental health, self-care, and mindfulness. So I finished that therapy and improved or developed GoViddo further, and that's how I managed to came out of my problems. And I also got rid of my previous dates which I had. I revived Indian Movie Friend again. I created not only 2 jobs, but I ended up creating 4 jobs from September 2018 until September 2021. So in December 2019, I received extension, which was the last extension of 2 years of my visa. And in August 2021, I applied for the indefinite leave to remain, which I received in September 2021, indefinite leave to remain. So that's how I traveled this journey from this part of the world with the cultural background and the artistic spirit and the emotional conditioning or the well-being to now this part of the world who is sorted and mature person. No matter which kind of background you're coming from in the world, no matter in how many difficulties you are if you're from village in Africa, in Brazil, in any part of the world, if you're struggling with your accepting yourself or who you are, or you have got a dream to achieve something, so no matter what, you can do it if you stay focused on that and just keep working and developing towards that. It's the process of self-discovery for everyone. And if you don't have any kind of references, it's fine, no problem, because we have been told all the time, okay, do like that, no, this doesn't work, because it did not work in the past. It's fine, no problem. If you don't have any references, you walk on your journey and you create your own example to others as your reference. You can be unique in your own way. You can travel, you can do your journey, you can take control back of your life. All the great leaders in the world, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Albert Einstein, our Maratha King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, or whoever innovator who had founded any, not only companies, but has done some unique job, they had to go through this journey, everyone. And that's the real learning of life. So just we should never quit on our dreams and hopes and aspiration and keep working towards them. And that is the journey. We should enjoy the journey of life. The things automatically come together. Yeah, this was my story, which is coming in a documentary, and also we are planning to make a movie about the same story, which we are aiming or planning to release globally in near future. That was Pratik Shelar, founder at GoViddo Limited, GoViddo.com, your go-to film investment platform. Thank you so much.
one of the old ones.
I think rate, yeah, 55.
Is it bigger?